Okay, so education, gaining knowledge. I know that you guys are both huge on education, gaining knowledge. You guys can continue your education on the college. In that, you guys were separated, correct?
Definitely.
Correct? Okay. So how did that affect what you guys had moving forward in the transition into the Etc. brand?
I would say it kind of slowed things down a bit. Mm-hmm. He was all the way in California, I was all the way up here. So we were used to seeing each other on a daily basis. Like right after school in high school, we would like shoot over to his crib and we would like sit down and just design t-shirts. Okay. You know, figure out like new colorways we were gonna come out with, all of that good stuff. So then when we went to college, you know, that's like a new experience for the both of us. So we're both trying to get acclimated to that. Mm-hmm. Still try to keep our brand going and, you know, still trying to push out quality stuff that we assume people would buy. Yeah. But yeah, that it really slowed things down because I want to say there might have been like 4 or 5 month periods where we just like nothing happened with the brand. We would talk about it here and there, you know, because we still talked often. But he was trying to, you know, he was in college trying to make sure he got through. I was in college trying to make sure I got through, and we kind of, you know, we kind of had other priorities, and that was put on the back burner, you know. But then when we would come together and be like, okay, let's release this, we came out with some cool pieces, you know. Yeah. But it took a lot longer than it did when we were in high school.
Okay.
So. It was also way more organic. I felt like yeah, we're in the midst of life, you know what I mean? Like for the first time, you know, like getting our first apartments and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So there's just like a lot of personal stuff going on. And then, you know, career building and all that sort of thing as well. So, I think at the end of the day, like when we did come up with ideas, it would literally happen like randomly, like, oh, just hitting you up, are you alive, bro? And then it would go into like, you know, I had this idea for whatever, and then it would just kind of happen. You know, it was very organic until we did socks, which was when like we decided. 09, yeah. And when we decided like, okay, we're gonna pick a niche now and like really go for this. We're done making just random t-shirts. And I feel like that was us turning it into like a business again. When we decided to make socks, because then there was like this process of like, you know, Pete going through and like doing what he does now, running production. Like that was like the real first production assignment to me, you know, outside of like screen printing t-shirts. So like that college experience, while very little product was produced from us, I feel like it was the first time we started really focusing on the quality of the product and like the branding behind it and all that kind of stuff, and then like promoting it out, getting it to like select people, certain people, and it's like, you know, there are people that still tell us like, those are some of the best socks I have.
Yeah. Talk about the name, Etc. When did it switch over, and what is Etc.?
Etc. came from ETC. So ETC is like the base of everything, and that was based off of us wanting to have a t-shirt boutique in Tacoma. So it was going to be like all t-shirts is the original idea. Yeah. The original idea is like graphic t-shirts by us. Oh, we will get like a couple of Stussy t-shirts, a couple of Fresh Dive t-shirts, brands that we like, have like shown us the way of how to make t-shirts, and then Pro Club, Hanes, like we're talking about like every blank t-shirt you think of, Kirkland, like all that, you know, just plain t-shirts, black, white, and gray, and that's what we wanted to be, and then throw in like accessories here and there, and that's where like the T in ETC is like why it's so prominent for us, and then obviously Tacoma, you know, so like it was all in like a simile or metaphor for what we were really wanting to create, and then it became Etc. when we started thinking about expanding it, like, and what it really meant to us, like to have a store, to have a brand, like you're not making the necessity, you're making the extra stuff, stuff that people want, stuff that people are like going to look for, you know, like things that people covet, so to speak, you know what I mean? So that was like really what it was about, and that's what the culture was about for us, you know, like we were making the trip 45 minutes out to come back and walk around on the 4th of July with shoes on that no one else like ever dreamed of. Get on seamless patent leather Forces. Like that was what it was about for us. And we made matching t-shirts. like that
Okay.
corresponded.
Yeah.
And denim. Like that was what it was about for us, you know? So that's what it, like the store idea was about. And then, you know, really from there, et cetera, like as far as like ideas and stuff go, like it was really just about getting off our best graphics that we have been holding on to in our minds for a long time. I still think like that's a big part of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's more focused now because there's like a culture that has been developed behind it and a presence of the people, but that's still what it's about.
I really feel like ETC Tacoma provides Tacoma with a culture. It's not, maybe even not the first boutique in Tacoma ever, but you think of Tacoma boutiques and you think of ETC Tacoma, you think of the events and stuff that you guys host here that separates yourself from different boutiques. And you guys look like me. You guys are black, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing to look at and see from a younger perspective, even from an older perspective. Somebody just came in here that was older than us and just shouted out and said, hey, I'm glad I came in here and seen what you guys have. Like, stuff like that is big to me. So talk about what you guys envisioned ETC Tacoma, how you guys saw the store coming about, like from the t-shirt idea to what it's become now.
Well, it's always been thought of as like a hub, you know?
Yeah.
For anybody, you know, from a young kid who just wants to come in and grab a t-shirt or come in and play Mario Kart one day, you know, to like a 30-year-old who wants to come in and, you know, do the same exact thing or kind of talk to us about what we're doing, catch some knowledge about, you know, they might have an idea or they might have a t-shirt brand that they want to run with and they want some ideas or they want some insight on what we did to kind of get where we were at. So being able to provide people with not only clothing that they can get here and not at the mall, but also being able to provide a platform for some of these artists and creatives to come and showcase what they're able to do was always like the plan that we had. And Umi is the one who really like set that in motion, you know. He's the one who gets out there and talks to a lot of those people who wanna kind of push their agenda. So him being down in California, that's the lifestyle down there.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something that people are used to up here. So us giving that to Tacoma is different, but people enjoy it at the same time. You know, so they kind of people gravitate towards ETC in that way. And even if they don't come in and buy a t-shirt, they might show up on open mic night, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just as important to us. You know, we don't need you to buy a t-shirt to be a part of ETC or Club 907, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so it's basically like a hub, man, and the goal is just to keep going up from here. So more events, you know, maybe looking for a space that can hold like more people because the events are starting to overflow and like spill outside and stuff now. So it's a really good thing, man. And I know Umi will probably want to touch on that and expand for sure.
Okay.
But for me, the cultural aspect of it comes from, like you said, like being out in California and like having the chance to be around. When we were here, and P is like, so like P's not, because he wasn't like sitting on Fairfax or sitting on Rosewood with me, like doesn't mean that he's not like the rest of the people that are really from the culture. Like you know exactly what it looks like whether or not you stepped on the street or not, you know, like because you're from it. It's the same essence of the things. The things that you think about doing, think about hanging out, like that is what it is, just all in one area. And so like that's the whole thing, you know. When I first moved down there, I went and checked out those two areas, you know, what's Fairfax now, but La Brea was way bigger than Fairfax when I first moved there. La Brea Massive was 3 stores. Union, which is like the Kaiser of all of this. This is they're who we, you know, Goods even is like looking for that. So there's Union. Then next door to Union is Stussy, obviously. And the real first streetwear brand to like blow up. And then next door to that, Undefeated. And so like that was like what I looked at, and that's what the dream is still for me, like to have stores next to each other or stores spread out throughout Tacoma that each hold their own cultural like thing. Like Undefeated, there is a customer that goes there that floats to those other stores, but he's a sneaker customer. He's not ever, and that's like what it is for him. And when he comes into the store, he wants to talk sneakers. He wants to talk about old sneakers. He wants to talk about new sneakers. He wants to talk about the sneakers he has on. He wants to talk about concept sneakers, whatever. But he's involved in the culture of like the brands that pair themselves with the sneaker culture, which is like Stussy's and Undefeateds, and then the Japanese brands and stuff.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was about getting that culture here. That was all that we wanted as a youth that we never had, which was being able to get it first.
Yeah.
God, dog, like that's the whole thing. That's the whole point, getting it first. And so that's what we're able to provide by all of the journey that we've been through thus far, and like building relationships with people. Now we can provide Tacoma with Rare Panther before anyone else on the West Coast gets it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now we can provide Tacoma and the West Coast with Carrots, before any other place gets it outside of Carrots. Like, that's like big stuff, you know what I'm saying, that is being started right here in Tacoma. Like, Classic doesn't sell anywhere in the Pacific Northwest outside of Compound except for us.
Yeah.
And
it's exclusive.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what the whole thing is. And that's what the whole culture is, because that breeds the kind of customer that are like-minded like us.
Yeah.
So that's how you bring the culture. The town part of it is something that we were bound to do anyway, because we just want to see people from Tacoma succeed.
Yeah.
If everyone else succeeds, then they talk about the town gets more popular, more money flows through the town.
Yeah.
It's all town business at
Exactly.
the end of the day. So that's what the culture is.
That's dope. And like you're saying, get it first.
Right.
I know Tacoma is all the way, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
In the Pacific Northwest. And we are late. We're late to some stuff. We're late to a lot of
Used
stuff.
to be.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, used to be.
Right.